Hello, guys. We're dropping a little extra episode this week, a midweek short update episode. We wanted to touch on our program, a little bit on college golf. It's exciting times because it's the start of the spring season, which is our championship season. And so we're about to start traveling. Baylor men's golf team travels this upcoming Monday to an individual tournament, and then we start our team travel next week. This is Coach Mikkel speaking. This is men's golf coach. And Coach McGraw is joining me. Coach, what are you looking forward to with our upcoming schedule here?
Well, thanks, Mikkel. Yeah, we are thrilled just to be competing again. That's, ever since COVID hit a couple of years ago, every time you get a chance to compete, you kind of remember how grateful you are. So we are really excited about going to the Border Olympics. We leave on the 12th of February, and it's the oldest continuously running collegiate event. I think they've gone since about 1950 or somewhere back then. It's an old event. Some of the best players in the history of college golf have played in this event. It's at Laredo Country Club down in Laredo, Texas. And Laredo Country Club was redesigned a couple of years ago, brand new greens. It's great. We'll have great weather. We know we won't have what we have outside this morning, snow and ice. So it will be good weather and a really nice field and a good way to start the spring. So that's February 12th. We leave, and I think the tournament's the 14th and 15th.
Yep, and like you said, can't wait for some better weather. I think all of central US has been hit with a cold front this week. We just woke up to some ice in Waco. So that's a very rare occurrence. Our guys are locked inside, hopefully hitting the books hard. That's something we can trust them doing as we head into the spring season, right, Coach?
Well, that's one thing I've really gotten used to here at Baylor. Our guys do a great job in the classroom. I think I've been here 7.5 years, so that's 15 semesters, and we've only made below a 3.5 one time. This semester, we led all Baylor men's teams with a 3.55 last fall. Really proud of that. When you consider we traveled to 4 tournaments, missed some school, and obviously we're trying to compete at a high level to make a 3.55. That's pretty gratifying for a coach. I'm really excited about that.
Yeah, we're thankful for how good a student athletes our guys are on and off the course. Exceptional students. So our travel schedule starts in Laredo, like you said, Coach. Some other tournaments will hit this spring season. We'll be in Houston at the Golf Club of Houston. We will hit Cabo Collegiate, which is at which course, Coach?
It's at the Cove Club. We used to play it at Carencia, but we're playing at the Cove Club now, which has about 3 holes right on the ocean that are absolutely splendid. They're stunning. It's a really good golf course, and we can be guaranteed for good weather down there as well.
Yeah, a 6-day trip there, right at the change of the month from February to March. And then
Yes.
let's touch on, Coach, right after the tournament in Houston. For all Baylor fans out there, we usually get a lot of green and gold out watching us there. We have our annual fundraiser the day after that tournament. That's on March 23rd. We have the Curtis Handcammer Classic at the Golf Club of Houston. Any details on that, Coach?
Well, the details are if you'd like to play, you can get a team of 4 players together. You can play as an individual, or you could be just a whole sponsor. You can sponsor any way you want. Mainly, we have the tournament to raise money for the program, obviously, but also to get Baylor supporters, Baylor alums, former golfers, just anybody who loves the Baylor golf program to get together for a day of food, fun, and fellowship. And it's just a blast. And we'll have a lot of prizes, so that'll be fun. And I wouldn't say it's a serious competition because you just never know whose handicap is where, and it's basically for the fun and the fellowship is what it's for. But it is to raise money for the golf program so we can do some extra things. We're thankful we have it. It's the Curtis and Doris Handcammer Classic, and we're real excited that we get to have it, I think, for the 39th year. It's been around for a long time. And Greg Priest before me, he had the tournament going, running pretty well, and we've just continued it since. So great time to get together and celebrate Baylor golf, but also have a good time.
Yeah, it's for fun and fellowship, but let's be honest, it's a little bit for the prizes too, which are immaculate this year. Coach has been working hard on them. So for those that are techie enough, I will link to the flyer of the Curtis Handcamera Classic in the description below. So there will be a link where you can click and get the most up-to-date information on that. Sign-up sheet will basically be fill out a sign-up sheet and send it to Coach McGraw's email address. But all that is stated in the flyer below. Also, the rest of our schedule, just quickly, some other tournaments that will hit the rest of the spring, Coach.
Well, when we get back from the Curtis Handcamera Classic, we'll have about a week and a half off. And then we go to the Aggie Invitational in College Station, which is every year one of the best fields we see in college golf. Really, really good. A mixture of a lot of Big 12 teams and some Southeastern Conference teams, because Texas A&M is a SEC team, but they also invite a lot of the Big 12 teams from this region of the country. So we'll go there, and then about a week after that, we go to Arizona State's tournament, the Thunderbird, which, I mean, quite frankly, I've seen the field this year. It may be the strongest field we've seen since Colonial last fall. It's a great, great field, which is great because it's a great measuring stick for us the week before we go to conference. And this year conference, the Big 12 Conference Championship is at Whispering Pines down in Trinity. And it's rated #1 golf course in the state of Texas for good reason. It's a fantastic golf course. And again, as opposed to when we go to Southern Hills in Tulsa, which is an amazing golf course, or Prairie Dunes in Kansas, you generally find some weather up at those two venues. I don't think we'll have much in the way of weather at Whispering Pines, except good weather. And I've been talking a lot about weather because I just woke up to snow and ice this morning, and I'm kind of grumpy about it. Not real happy about snow and ice. So, but Whispering Pines, what a great place to have conference.
Whispering Pines is a gem. Whenever I get the question of what makes your top 5 courses, I've been very fortunate to play numerous super awesome places around the world. Augusta National I've gotten to play, Cypress Point I've gotten to play, and there are a lot of other really cool places that I've been extremely lucky to get to play. But Whispering Pines makes my top 5 list every time. So if you're a Baylor fan in the Houston area, even Dallas or Austin area, it's not too far of a trip to come support your Bears at Whispering Pines and see an incredible golf course. In my opinion, the best golf course in Texas. So again, that'll be a link down in the description to our schedule as well. Would love for as many of you as possible to come out and support in the green and gold. And so you can see all the details there, and you can follow our results at BaylorBears.com on that link. But you can also kind of keep an eye on golfstat.com as we start competing. So enough about our schedule. We want to touch briefly on camps as well. I know most of our podcasters are aware that we're hosting camps this summer. We have our overnight camp, which I'll also link the flyer in the description below. That's more for girls and boys that are about 10 to 18 that are looking for a great summer camp to learn a little bit about golf, a little bit about college. Serious to semi-serious golfers who just love the game will fit in like hand in glove at that camp. So that'll be a lot of fun. We'll also host day camps for younger players, 7 to 14 range. And so those are about to be posted. As soon as they do, we'll link all that stuff in the descriptions below. So if you're a Baylor fan, golf fan, these camps should be a lot of fun, and we're really looking forward to them. Any word on that, Coach?
Well, I love camp. I've said this year in and year out. Camp it's a great time you can kind of let your guard down a little bit. You're not fundraising, you're not recruiting, you're not coaching your own players that where a lot is on the line. This is just a lot more enjoyable time to introduce the game to people who may not be serious. But if you light that fire or spark that fire inside somebody, that they might end up being a player. We've had kids at the Baylor golf camp who've played Division I golf, and at Oklahoma State I had players at that camp that ended up playing Division I golf. So good players can come out of a golf camp for sure, but it's a great way to introduce kids to the game.
Yeah, thanks, Coach. And lastly, a few housekeeping things regarding the podcast. If you made it this far into an extra episode throughout the week that's mainly about Baylor golf and us and our program, you're definitely one of our hardcore fans. So we just really want to thank you for listening to this podcast. We appreciate all your feedback. Both Coach and I get texts every week about people enjoying it, sharing it with their friends. And it just means the world to both of us. Coach does a lot of prep work for these. And so we're not a goof off podcast. We try to make some insight out of each and every podcast episode that we do. And so we have gained a lot of experience from it ourselves, but we do it out of labor of love. And so if you're this far into this episode, you're one of our true fans. If you have not done so, please rate the podcast wherever you listen to it. We would love for you to write a short description as well. It just helps that many more people find the podcast. Some numbers on the podcast that we haven't shared publicly at all. We have passed 100,000 listens. And so that was a cool little benchmark for us. It's obviously not a worldwide, super huge podcast, but we're pretty happy with the support. So keep on listening. We'll drop new episodes every Monday. And if you can share with a friend, write a description, and give us a 5-star rating. We really appreciate it. And then lastly, Coach is not going to do this, but I'm going to do this. Go buy Coach's book if you haven't done so. It's still available. It's called Better Than I Found It. We haven't taken a dime in ad revenue at all from this podcast, and we're not intending to at all. And so we're going to plug the book in our camps every so often without kind of choking you guys down with our own ads. But that book is still available. It's a great book on college golf and on coaching. So yeah, would highly recommend you guys go get the book if you haven't done so already. Well, thanks for now, Coach. Any parting words for listeners?
No, I just appreciate all the loyal listeners. We have several a lot, about 1,200 a week that I know are listening, which is great. We were never meant for this podcast to be something gigantic. I wouldn't mind it being that, but I also know that the people that do listen, I think, get something from it. I know I do. So I'm thankful we're doing it.
Likewise. Okay, guys. Thanks for listening this far, our true fans. And we'll see you Monday when we drop a new episode.